Do you know how many years a car model lasts before a new model is released? Typically, it's around 7 years. And what about custom motorcycles? Yes, this may sound like a stupid question, but after seeing the machine in today's video, you'll see that this question actually makes some sense. Almost like launching a new model, but using the old one. And when I say old, I mean really old. A motorcycle that is around 30 years old, but that looks like it was launched yesterday. Welcome to Racertv. One of the things that makes me like custom motorcycles is the fact that we are always being surprised. Unlike the new vehicle market, we don't have to wait 7 years to see the birth of a new model. Every time I see a bold project like this, it's almost as if I'm witnessing the launch of an entirely new motorcycle. Don't forget I said almost, because it's clear that this engine is not fooling anyone. At this point, you'll be thinking there's something familiar about this BMW. But at the same time, you know you've never seen it before. And here is the explanation. This awesome machine was built by Timothy Seers, founder of the BMW parts specialist, Powerbrick, located in Holland. And if you still remember last year, he's the same builder who created this amazing project. Nothing more and nothing less than the motorcycle that was elected the best Café Racer of 2023. Which means we are facing a customizer of the highest level. But here's the interesting part. They didn't just build 2 K Series projects. From what I saw on Powerbrick's Instagram page, there are currently 5. And I must say that all of them are magnificent. The main differences between some of them are mainly in the color and wheel configuration. But there are other features that have also been applied on its latest version. As you may already know, the transformation process began with a BMW K1100 RS. But this time, Timothy decided to take a new route and try a bikini fairing. Needless to say, this is a completely made from scratch item. It was entirely 3D printed in a carbon composite material. And to hold it in place along with the headlight and speedometer, a structure was created on a CNC machine. I have to say, it is a bold move. But it's also very well thought out. As I already said in some older videos, one of the problems with the K Series fuel tanks is this section. Aesthetically, it seems like something is missing. And this fairing appears to be precisely the missing piece. Notice how it appears to be an extension of the fuel tank. And the continuation of this fold on the bottom of the tank was also an excellent decision. As usual, I suspect this mini fairing won't please everyone. I'm only saying this because its format is unconventional. And so I took the liberty of doing some experiments in Photoshop just to test the potential of this project. I initially tried a BMW R9T fairing. Although this is a more common choice, I have to admit, it looks good. Interestingly, I think it even looks better than on the R9T itself. In case you didn't notice, I kept this section of the Powerbrick's fairing. Anyway, this is certainly a more consensual choice. But when it comes to a custom motorcycle, I think most people always expect the more creative and innovative side. And for that reason, I tried another fairing in Photoshop. Personally, I really liked the contrast of the rounded shape with the sharper lines of the gas tank. Not too big, nor too small. I honestly believe this would be a good choice for Timothy to try in the future. But let me know what you think in the comments section. If the fairing is one of this machine's points of interest, I must say the entire rear section is discreetly spectacular. When I say discreetly, I mean we don't see it at first glance. It is only after we see the details that we can appreciate how awesome it is. This stunning subframe looks like a real sculpture. It was designed and developed by Powerbrick itself. Impressively, it was machined from a solid 100 kilograms aluminum billet. Although this piece may look identical to the one used in their previous 3 projects, if you look closely, you will see there are several differences. The shock absorber bracket is different, and the finish on these arms is now more harmonious. Another very interesting detail is the way this subframe is attached to the main frame. Basically, it just requires a pair of mounting brackets welded to the main frame. If you are interested, you can purchase not only this part, but many others through Powerbrick's website. I know many of you prefer to see the traditional Café Racer tail at the rear. But in this case, I think it is a very interesting solution, and one that adapts well to the modern and clean overall design. And once again, Timothy chose to evolve the design of this piece in relation to previous projects. I could stay here for a long time, just to explain each of the modifications made to this project. And to avoid this, I thought it would be better to label them in the images, as if it were some kind of catalogue. As you can see, the list is quite long. Not to mention, it's fully loaded with top-notch parts. Essentially, no one can remain indifferent when looking at this motorcycle, knowing that it is based on an almost 30 years old BMW. Which means that Timothy's work is absolutely extraordinary on so many levels. In design, creativity, and build quality. And as you are already waiting to hear, a very serious contender for this year's best custom motorcycle. Thank you for watching Racertv. And as always, I hope to see you on the next video.